welcome in everybody, and we're going live. So, got a few things to get together, but plenty to do today. I'm going to try and get a few of these done today. Can show a little bit of this. Things to look for and not to look for. Andamuka. Really nice piece of moss. Guess we could have a little bit of light, couldn't we? That'll help. That'll help a little bit better. And let's get everybody into our chats. There we go. Awesome. We got light. We just got a little bit of time. Got a few things to show today. It turned beautiful outside, even though it wasn't meant to be. So, looking good. I don't know what that button does. What does that button do? No goals, okay. One. Everybody, sorry I'm fiddling around here. I want to try a couple of things. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's try that. Hi there, welcome in. Sorry, I put up a goal. Never put up a goal before. It's a $2 goal. But yeah, welcome in. It's Sunday, and we're going to cut a few things today. It is my 50th live, which is, for me, quite an accomplishment. Thanks for the thumbs up. I've been going at this pretty hard for maybe since August, even though, I joined YouTube 2012, something like that. And yeah, just been pushing really hard since August, September, and got monetized already. I am making pennies on a short. So maybe by the end of the year, I'll make enough pennies to have them actually pay me out. Hi, Leonore. Leonore, I have a question for you. I just watched your short, actually. Hey, Got Your Life. The wheel that you use on your giveaways, I can find a wheel online. I just didn't know how you were putting in your subscribers. I didn't know if you're just doing it by hand or if there was an app that you were using, because I'd like to reward all of you. Really, I'd like to reward everybody for hanging out on the channel at any time. And but I want to come up with some really good gifts to give away. I have plenty. I don't sell a lot, so there's no harm in me just giving them away. So yeah. And then, what are we going to do today? So I have a few different things. I always start each week thinking I don't have enough to do, and then I find so much that we don't get through it all. I wanted to go through a little bit about Andamuka and concrete and colors and treating. Okay, that's good to know, Leonor. Thank you so much. So we're going to go through a few different pieces of this later on. I wanted to show differences in quality, what to look for if you are buying it. This is a medium to low grade right here, and it's not wet right now, but it has been treated. So, and I have a piece of really nice moss. Wow, that's a lot more curly than I thought. That's really nice. So we're going to cut this one. So I'm trying to vary out some of the stones a little bit. You know, I do a lot of opal and turquoise, which is lovely, but I need to throw in some of the harder stones from time to time. They do take longer. They are noisier on the live, but I do have a lot of other material other than phosphates and opal. So I want to try and get at least sort of one piece of this done each week or each live. These are just some of the ones from the last live that still need finishing off. And so today, I don't know, it's just a nice opal that I did. Let's get a little closer. It is not getting closer today. There you go. Just to get in on the colors. That's pretty. And one of the two that we did had a slight crack in it, and now I can't find it. Is that it right there? No, maybe not that one. Maybe it's this one. Look at that. So one of them has a crack in it, and I can't find it anymore. I think it's this one, but we'll look at it. So today, I'm going to do the moss. I have a piece of Australian turquoise to do. I was going to cut this on the saw. Let me back it back out. I think this is the eggshell number 8. And let's take the light off for a minute. There you go. So I was going to cut it today, and then my saw is vibrating some, and I have a feeling that if I try to cut this in half, I will just fracture out the whole top. So I'm just going to try for a really high domed piece. All this is rough on the edge anyway, so it's got to go. Same again on this side, and I think we're going to do that one. We're going to talk about the Andamuka, do a piece of the Australian, do a piece of moss, and then I have some other opals that I'd like to get into. Well, this one we can show real quick. This one's fun. This is just a piece of boulder opal. Hey Stephen, how you doing today? Thanks for popping in. I'm doing pretty good. It's beautiful down here. In fact, I don't want to tell everybody how nice it is here. So yeah, this is just a really nice piece of flashy boulder opal. Got all the colors in it. Already had a hole in it. That's good. I hope you're staying warm. It was meant to be cold. Well, it was meant to be cold down here today, but it turns out it's absolutely gorgeous outside and in the mid-60s. So, yeah, it is what it is. Talked to my mother over in England. She's freezing to death. Wet and cold, so I'm glad we're here. All right, let's get on with something. I put a $2 goal in for myself today. If I make $2 a week, we'll be fine. So we're going to move over to the, hopefully, do that and that one. Move over to the machine, which seems to be doing all right. There we go. Yeah, be consistent. That's what I would say. Yes, be consistent. It might be a little heavy, but I think if you stay consistent in most aspects of your life, things will come to you without you even asking for it. So you become dependable. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. Hello? Are we back? I don't know what happened there, so if somebody could go in the chat. I know people have been having issues with getting knocked out. Thank you. Thanks, Sue. Alright, so that's the first time I've been kicked out. So instead of just kicking out people out of the chat, now it's kicking kicking everybody out. So what are we going to start with? Let's do the eggshell. I need to get this better rounded. Let's get all my... That's alright. I just haven't shaved or anything. Hey, Freeform, how are you? My hair's brushed, kind of. Got the light back on. Let me double check my chats. That. Now I can see everybody. Yeah, that's a new one for me. Alright, let's get this started. I'm going to do the eggshell turquoise. It's actually number 8. See how noisy we are. Not too bad. I don't really care that much. I don't want to show everybody how good looking I am. And then Miss Freckle Cat will get jealous because of all the ladies chasing me. Yeah, I was going to cut this one in half last week. Actually, I tried it today. And I'm just afraid it's going to shatter when I do it. So let's get in here. Hey, Maxim. How are you doing today? I did show my Halloween face. Let's do that. And actually, it's not so much about you guys, it's about local. So now that I've decided that we're not going to chop this one in half, I'm going to go around the whole edge to get the shape now. And I'm also going to bring this bottom down so it's flat. It is stabilized, but it's still pretty soft. Hey everybody, welcome in. Hey Tanya, how are you today? So Tanya, what I was trying to explain, it's really hard to talk to people through chat sometimes. I don't think it's out here anymore. But last week you did your... So if you don't know Tanya, everybody, that's my jewelry addiction out in California. She's a silversmith, she's a lapidarist. She collects vintage to antique. She is a reseller of jewelry, costume, silver, and fine. And she's quite a laugh to go into her lives and hang out with, even if you're not buying anything. But yeah, and freeform too. So you can... I don't have my mod in here today, but as you can tell from freeform... Oh wow, I hit my goal. Thank you. Go back here. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. But yeah, Tanya, so you did your chain, you did your paperclip chain, and then maybe the next day I was out at the thrift shop and came across an artisan-made silver chain, and it'd been hand-hammered, but it wasn't marked. But the lady that takes care of the jewelry, she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 925. So it was $30. I took the risk. It was a 36-inch long handmade chain. Each link was hand hammered, and I got it home. It was 38 grams. So it was 38 grams of sterling silver, and it came out to, with today's price, $88. So I thought, well, that's funny that Tanya would be making hers, and then I find one out here in the world, in the thrift world, and for such a great price. And then the next day, same place, I found a setting that was not, it was a cheap setting, but it had a real opal in it, which is really weird. And then you went ahead and showed your opal bracelet. I don't know if you sold the opal bracelet yet, but the bracelet was gorgeous. I've sort of got the bottom, still not liking the shape right there. Let's bring that in a little. I gotta remember while I'm talking, I'm cutting rocks. And my mother may be watching today, I'm not sure. I hope she is. But I just got off the phone with her. She is in cold, damp England. Said it's raining down south, and the Midlands is raining for sleet, and then up north a little, it's a little more snow. So. Yeah, she's like the queen. I don't know if she's the queen, a princess. Definitely a princess, but maybe Lady RocksAlot. But that would be somebody else. So no, we're going to call her the queen. Even though it's not a great shape yet, I need to go around the top here just to get these little holes out, and then I'll know a little bit better of my shape and where I have to sort of move the face of the stone around. Let's see what we got here. If I do it right, the shape should be almost, not the outside of the shape, but the dome of the shape should be egg-like. I'm hoping. And then once I get it to where I want it, I might actually end up dopping this one. And if people don't know what dopping is taking a stone, and personally I use wax, but putting it on the end of a stick, and it's just easier to manipulate and move where you'd like it to go. Alright. Okay. So yeah, huge shout out to Tanya, thank you so much. My jewelry addiction. She goes live many times through the week, so if you subscribe to her channel, you need to hit that notification bell, because you never know when she's going to pop up. And then she hangs out with Doug from Raven's Chest, and they're quite the combo when they do their sales. Alright, let me just concentrate for a little bit here. I did go to a fantastic estate sale over the weekend. The family originally were Dutch, and the original parts of the family came over here to the United States in the 1700s. So there were some pieces that were literally that old. Not that I could afford them. Still got just a little, I don't know if that's a crack. So what I was afraid of is if I cut this, that I'd end up popping some of this out, and it actually ends up that even this piece might just pop out. There it is. And that's okay. I'd rather it did it now than later. And I'm just going to blend that in. Beautiful material, quite soft. And I don't know if I may have to come back and you get their toes, or I'll show my toes. Alright. I gotta be careful with this. I'm going to end up having to put this on a stick. It's a really pretty color. That's odd, Steve. I find it pretty easy, but you know, YouTube's a little different with different people. I don't know why. Is that what I'm going to end up doing, I think. So I have one list on the my YouTube watch that isn't public yet, but it's everything from silversmithing and all the people that I watch as far as lapidary and rock hounding, and I think I need to make it go public because it contains everybody that's helped me along the way, and this one's definitely need to put this on a stick. I'm wondering if I need to see how faceted it is, and that's on a 280. So this shows how soft it is. Beautiful color. I'm wondering if I need to stabilize it some more. Alright, that's enough on that one for right now. move on to something else. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad I didn't put it on the saw. It would have completely cracked up. I think to do this one properly and safely, it definitely has to go onto a chopping stick. Yeah. But I like the matrix is so fine in there. Oh, that's faster. But yeah, I'm gonna stop that. It's too soft. Let's go a little noisier. Hi everybody, welcome in. Hey Dave, how you doing? Mossy. It does have, you can see through it just a tad. Let's have a look. Let's clean this one up. This one's going to be a bit noisier. So let's get rid of the targets. Target done. Five. No, we're going to go one. I'm just trying stuff out on here that I've never tried before too, so. Alright. Done. Get this light back on. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for the diamonds. Gems, diamonds. They go well with the our little rock community. I need to give them away, actually. So yeah, we're at 50 lives today, which is fantastic. Here goes for some noise. Hey, Crocker. Thank you for the floating heart. So yeah, it's gonna get noisy. So I just started, if Dave's still there, I just thanked Crocker actually. I just started opening the boxes from before Christmas. I got Dave Tompkins here with all the eggshell, number 8. And then I got them out of order and I opened up, I think it's the double Vegas, the Vegas and Vegas. I got some beautiful stones in there to cut. Yeah, this is neat. I don't know where this came from, Dave. Thank you, Minty. Welcome in, Minty. You guys don't know Minty Cactus. She's out in Arizona. Putting up shorts every day. Does a couple of videos. Puts some recipes and how to make stuff so we can take care of ourselves instead of going to the local food hub. Superfoods. And what does a food have to be considered a superfood? Is it the vitamins, the minerals? The amount of calories you get? Yeah, it's very swirly. I'm just bringing in this edge, although I like the pattern on it. It's got a few little wormholes in it. I'm pretty sure there's some heavy-duty worms down there eating granite. They only come to the surface very occasionally. So we got all the big shows coming up. We just had Quartzite. So if you don't know Dave's channel, Lapidary Dave, I'm sure most of you do. But yeah, hopefully he'll be hitting Tucson. What is it, a couple of weeks? I'm just going to bring it down so I can round it a little better at the bottom here. In fact, I'm going to take that corner right now. And then maybe after this one we'll look at the Andamuka. In fact, some of the pieces that I wanted to do a comparison to, the better pieces that I have are actually from Dave. I don't know if they came from Milo or not, but the Andamuka, I see a lot of people selling online, and they sort of give a false impression of what the stone's going to look like, and they mostly do that just by keeping it wet. But I wanted to show you guys little bits of differences to look for. Alright, starting to look nice. Hi everybody, welcome in. Hey Kit Kat. Well, I don't know what we got greens in here for sure, so you yeah, you got some good old moss in here, and probably some calcium. Yeah, this is really nice. Still got a little bit more to go here. I'm going to switch wheels to it's starting to chip out. Right now I'm working on an 80 grit diamond wheel. That's impregnated with diamonds, which are actually starting to wear out. Okay, I want to get rid of just a little bit more of this. And we're going to decide which side. I think I like it better this side. Well, that's pretty nice too. So that side. Hey, Alabama. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I went into pause. Just gonna flatten that out. I think. Okay. So I think I like it this way. No, I like it this way. Okay. I'm going to go around the edge just really quick on this wheel, just to start the dome. I'm going to bring it down 45 degrees. So I know Tanya had just started, not that she just started, she just started doing lapidary more than she had been lately. I guess that's the best way to put it. But a lot of you ask sometimes like what machines to buy and what equipment and what companies, such and such and such and such. And I think the best way to do it is actually to find your local gem and mineral society or something similar, where you can go in, you pay a monthly, and you can go in and use all their equipment. And I think they're going to be opening a new one locally for me here. So even though I have a lot of my own equipment, there's certain types of equipment that I'll be wanting to go in and to use. It is Sunday. So for me, it's been a bit of a short weekend. I ended up going into work on Friday. But I did get paid for it. So yes, even though I am knighted, I do have to go in. I do go to work like regular people. It's my cover. But yeah, I went in Friday. But it was also a favor to human resources, so sort of double pay. It's good to have human resources on your side. Well, I got human resources at home too. I got Miss Frecklecat. Keeps me in line. Alright, let's move over. So even though I've been monetized, I don't think I'm really making anything off of these lives, which is okay. I'd be doing them anyway. I just want to sort of explain to some of you who also have channels. I've made pennies on the shorts that I've been doing. And I don't know, maybe once I get to like 2,500 subscribers or something, it'll get better. But that's not really the reason that I started doing YouTube. I did it to, one, show you guys what I was up to, the things that I've learned, and then hopefully I get to learn from you guys at the same time. Just went around, redid that girdle. Here in that bezeling edge. You can kind of see just a slight angle if you look at it. Just angling over to the right here. You can really see it there. And not too bad. Let's bring that in a tiny bit. Gonna go around on my 45 again. So now I'm working on a 220. Still takes a fair amount of stone off, but it's a little bit smoother than that last wheel. That last wheel, because of the sizes of the diamond bits themselves, they can chip out your stone. Alright. Now I'm going to do like, because on the 45, I'm going to bring it down a little bit more, maybe to around see how flat that is? I'm going to try and change that, but I'm going to try and bring it down like to about a 30 degree all the way around. I did just take a sneak peek at the original, or the Carmel Mountain Veracite that I purchased from the very, very first sale of it. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. And then I have a pseudomorph Veracite shell that I got, which is fabulous. And what we'll do it on Thursday, I think. We'll come back here, and it's cut in half. It's a full shell, clam shell, I think. And we're going to put a face on each side and just keep it as a specimen. But it's really just fabulous, fantastic. So I did keep a little bit up the top there, but there's no holes in that. So that was that live edge. It's okay to have that to differentiate it's sort of contrasting the rest of the colors in there. And now I'm going to give it a bit of a shaky shape. Sort of rolling it back and forth, bringing it to the middle. I mean the middle of the face of the stone. I don't think Dave's still here, but I got beautiful carnelian beaded necklace from him, which is going to go really well. Do I have it out here? I don't have it out here. So it's going to go with that really big piece of carnelian I did a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to put it right in the middle of the necklace. This one would work really well with it too, actually. Thanks all for joining today. Really appreciate that. It's gorgeous out here. Start to see me rounding it off and trying to bring it to the center. It's still a little flat, but you can kind of see it starting to round off. And the next wheel will help a lot, because it's soft. It's a soft wheel. When I press on it, it'll actually naturally start to round some of the edges off here. Once you push into it, it sort of rounds into the sponge of the wheel. And I think we're going to move over there right now. I like the shape. Still a little chippy on this edge. So that's from those diamonds. Because these wheels are diamonds, and this is a real hard, brittle stone. You got all those little chips right there. I gotta get all that out. Around the corner. Down to this corner. Maybe we'll take this one all the way through. So pretty much got rid of those tips. Let's move on to this third wheel here. There we go. Do the back first for me. Okay, so YouTube is prompting me to ask a question of whether to ask cereal or milk first. Which one's first? So which do you pour in your bowl first, cereal or milk? I'm not going to actually put it up on the screen. I think it's funny. Personally, I put my cereal first for sure. Alright, that's good. Now I'm going to do that little edge again. A lot quicker this time. These are little things that, you know, it used to take me so long to just go around the whole stone just to get that tiny little edge. And now I can kind of zip right around it, keeping the same angle. Alright. I believe this piece came from California, actually. I don't know if it was Katie's Mountain, but it was, I think, a Don Dupuy piece. Alright. Now I'm going to start doing a little rounding motion. So I'm going to getting down that stone, turning the stone slightly, and getting a little bit of a round and taking off a little bit of the flat. And then having done it on this point right here, I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do it on this point right here. That almost sounded like I knew what I was talking about. I don't see too many of our UK friends in today. It might be because they're freezing. So I wish them all the wealth and health and warmth that you possibly can. Because we had some beautiful snow last week, but I think most of it's turned into sleet and rain today. So same thing, I just came to this corner right here, round, and we'll take a quick look, and maybe even do a dry test, see if I've missed anything. And I gotta go around the whole stone. So this time I'm doing it from the edges and rolling it off the edge. I'm not doing too much on the corners because you will go through that corner a lot quicker than you will that full edge. A little bit on the corner, but not much. We kind of did that already. And go over to the other long edge. This isn't a thick stone, so it's not going to be a high dome of any kind. Same thing, just go around that corner and pull it out. Still got three wheels to do for this one, but I think we'll take a quick peek. And you can kind of see there are no scratches. It's still a little dull. So we're only on the third wheel. We've got 3 to go. Not looking as flat. It's still a little flat. Very little Van Gogh kind of wispies. Maybe that's what we'll call it, is the Van Gogh stone. Alright. So that's 2. Let's move on to... Let's talk about the Andamuka a little bit. Turn this off. So Andamuka Opal is from Andamuka in Australia. You can get everything from black to white to crystal, and then a lot of it is treated. What do I do with the other pieces that are treated? Not sure, I did bring them out. So I got... That is Andamuka, but this is more like a concrete. This has been treated already. Now people will sell this to you by doing this. Look how gorgeous that is. Beautiful colors. But that it still needs treating again. But the outside has that almost like sandstone, almost like a fine concrete. And on some of these, you will never get rid of that. Doesn't matter how far into the stone that you go. It's still going to be slightly gritty. That you can. I wish you could feel this. So you could feel the grit almost coming off. But when they're selling it to you online, and they put this down, and they're like, look at the gorgeous rainbow colors, it's in there. They're not lying. And then, I weigh it, and it weighs 12 grams, which is 60 carats, and then they sell it to you for a really cheap $2 a carat. You're looking at 120 bucks. But I don't know if you'll ever get a polish on this, ever. Now, you can treat it and treat it again on top of the treatment that they've already done with the sugar. The sugar treatment's very acceptable within the market. But then you almost have to treat it with a stabilization epoxy or a cactus juice to fill in some of those crevices, to even get it to smooth. So I'm going to cut this because I want to jump in to see how well it took to the sugar and acid bath that it took. I also have some few pieces. So this I would call medium to low. There's even lower than this, but yeah. And then sort of a small piece like this. It's a little bit better. A little less gritty. Still got that grit in there though. And so it looks gorgeous when you wet it. And that's the same with a lot of opal. So a lot of opal, people will show it to you wet. It takes out the cracks, it takes out the crevices, it takes out sort of the grittiness on the outside of the opal. May even hide some of the sand a little bit. These are all things you need to think about. So really gritty. Let's see if I did have one nice piece in here. So if I was going to buy Andamuka, I would probably go with somebody like Phil from the Opal Mills. He's going to tell you exactly what you're getting. So this piece is finished, and this I would put a medium to A grade, maybe. But with this one, you can see how well it polished up. Still little tiny holes in it, but polished up really good and smooth. So there's that, and there's this. Oh, another question. Well, I don't know if I want to ask this one. So it's asking me to put another question and answer up here. It says, do plants have feelings? That's a little too much. Really nice, probably medium to A grade. You can get full smooth. You can get full color and full crystal. You can get. So let's have a go at this, see what happens. I hope that helps a little bit. You just got to be wary who you're buying from, what you're trying to buy. Is the price too good? Very similar to when you're buying jewelry or clothes. Here's a piece that's so untreated, I think. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's a piece of crazy lace. I don't know what that is. What is that? Don't know what that is. Maybe palm root? It's silicated. Don't know what that is. I'll have to look into that one. Okay, let's put that away. Put that away. We're going to see if we can get any sort of a polish on this. Here we go. See how soft that is? Way too soft. You want your opal to be fairly solid, fairly hard, but this is just running right through this. So I've just downgraded this to very low grade. I think I'll shape it and maybe I'll try and vacuum it. It's going through that quicker than it goes through turquoise. Welcome in, everybody. Let's even move right over. Beautiful colors. So yeah, I would suggest with any type of opal, ask to see it both wet and dry. We're going to try it, but I actually like that side better. just switching which sides I'm going to have faced. Kind of saving face. Hey Renata, welcome in. Just going over some not high grade Andamuka opal. You see how all the sugar's coming out. So what they do is you cook it in sugar with a high concentrated sugar solution, and then when you throw it into some hot acid, sulfuric or nitric acid, and hydrochloric, I think. You don't want to do it too high; it'll make it disappear completely. But it gives it it carbonizes all the sugar into a black color, and that black gives some contrast to the color of the opal within the stone. So that was quick. Stuff's really soft. Doing that bottom edge real quick. Pretty colors. Let's see if we can see how gritty it still is. Let me do this a little bit more. Basically the same thing we did on that last stone, rolling off the edges from the middle of the face. Oh, the color's gorgeous. Now let's try that a little bit. And you can still see in the face how pitted it is. So some would take like an epoxy and vacuum it. Some may paint a little epoxy or clear adhesive across the top. Thank you, Leah. Yeah, I'm just showing the differences. This one will never smooth out. You have to fill in all those pits in the top. And actually this one, let's get a real close up. So even though I'm just on the 280, you can see, look at the pits in there. And those won't come out, so you got to fill them with something. So this one needs re-sugaring, re-acid buffing, and then filling in those pits with some sort of epoxy or varnish, and then this one, same type of material in that this Andamuka, still pitted, but much less. And that's a really nice piece. That's kind of like low grade and medium grade. And it gets worse than the one on the right. You can get some that are just absolutely awful. You put it on a wheel or a Dremel and it'll crumble out of you. Hey Haas, how you doing today? Yeah, kind of just showing the differences between, this one has some great color, but it's so sandy and concretey that it needs some other stabilization on it. And this was one that Dave did a while ago actually. And this one could use a little bit more as well. But this one I love this one. Little colors in that. So, pretty. Hey Moondrop, welcome in. Alright, let's go on to something else. What are we on next? That was my country accent coming out. Let's see. Got that. We could do another noisy one. Or the Australian turquoise. Ursula, welcome in. This one does have a little hole in. I don't know how deep it goes. So will I hit it if I start going from this side? Don't know. Let's try the, let's do the turquoise first, I think. Get close, put a little bit of water on there. Hey Addy, welcome in. This is Australian turquoise. Oh, maybe that hole already comes through. No. So we're going to try and make this the face. So a turquoise should not sound louder than a Andamuka opal. Let me get a mask on real quick. Bit of coffee. We are in the U.S. Oh, somebody got zapped. Hi everybody, welcome in. Trying to find a decent shape. Getting there. Hey my friend, how you doing? Avinia? Can't see. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining in today. Hey Mom Taz. Alright, almost got to the shape that I want. Welcome in everybody. Thanks for joining. Just working on a piece of Australian turquoise. Do that. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Sorry, I can't see. The screen is... Sorry, I got held up. Alright, well. Sorry, I'm mumbling. They're trying to... YouTube is sending me messages. And not from other members, just from the platform. I don't know, maybe it's some sort of carnelian. Could be a fire opal. And fire opal, I mean fire opal, it's still silicated opal, but it's mostly orange. It could be an orange topaz, which would be really neat. But to get the glowing, I'm not 100% sure. It's just like Iberian glass, but it's not usually too orange. I don't know if anybody else has an idea in the chat about what would glow orange. In natural light. Hey Deborah, how are you today? Thank you for coming in. Alright, let's move on to this next one. Not right now. I'm not on WhatsApp yet. My family are asking me to go onto WhatsApp because it would make our phone calls a lot cheaper. Because we are on different sides of the Atlantic. So I keep saying I will, but I haven't. If you'd like, I'm actually going to open up my community page. So in the next 3 days or so, if you want to check back on my channel page, my community page is going to be open, and you can then post pictures to that if you'd like. Well, welcome in. I have family related to Bangalore from well back in the day. And then my brother is married to a South African of Indian descent. The glowing orange, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I need to start bringing down this edge here to there to start making the dome here. I got a fair amount of stone to work with. Some people at that stage may take the time to come in and just mark it straight across. Probably the smarter way to do it. Because then you know you're bringing down your girdle to the same spot all the way around. I'm just going to eyeball it for right now. No, absolutely. So yes, I did say Bangalore. I'm not in Bangalore. I just have connections to Bangalore. The world is a very small place when you come down to it. A little extra water in here. I find the hardest spots to do are the corners, to get them to go around evenly. Doing pretty good. And then you got this side that hasn't even really been done yet. Look at that. That's looking good. Hey Dana, how are you? Adi, I'd translate it, but hey Jaro, I should say. I can't hit the translate button. Well, let's see if I can do it. Let's see what happens. No, don't let me translate it. Now I'm doing about a 30 across that top edge. Trying to see the two lines that are done, one there and then another one like that. Thank you, Adi. That will look really nice. Alright, so same thing, we're going to do the corner, and that top edge. Got to be careful when I'm in this top edge. This will come down a lot quicker than the rest of the corners. So, let's do that one first, I think. I'm going to go really light and just slowly roll it over. And then reaching in a little bit further each time to where it's coming to the middle of the stone. So starting up here and slowly bringing it back to the middle. Okay. Does have a little pocket, but I got a big pocket over here too, so it's gonna happen either way. It could be giant ring. Could be a pocket stone. But yes, we'll tell you. I'm just being silly, Dana. Yes, a pendant. In fact, Wendy's been asking get a piece of blue to work on from me, and maybe this will be it. Alright, back to what I was doing, which is the corners. Same thing, just rolling it over, reaching in a little bit more each time to the middle. I'm going to do the same on this corner. Rolling it around, facing it to the middle. Now let's do these edges. I'm just going around down each edge and sort of rolling it just slightly. I mean, I'm on a pretty high, low grip wheel right here, so I've got to be careful. And I'm not even going to do the tips. Move on to this last wheel. This one. So this one, the difference here, this one is a 280 grit. This one is a 220 grit. The 220 grit is a diamond impregnated metal wheel. So, here, we'll do a test. So this one's metal, and this is soft. This actually has like about half an inch or 2 centimeters of sponge behind the sanding paper itself. So the difference is this. I'm going to do it with a different stone, but there's that and then that. So this one's a lot softer. This is a 280 grit, so it takes off a little bit less. This one's a little more aggressive. This is just what the gentleman put on the machine for me when I first got it. I think he had it for himself. So it's super rough, smooth grind, rough shape, and then you get into a smooth shape, pre-polish and then polish. But so what helps with this one, where I'm going now, is it's softer, so it helps with rounding as well. So as I push, it actually pushes that sponge in a little bit and helps take out any facets. And it's not quite as aggressive. To the back, this piece isn't backed with anything for stabilization, so it is stabilized, but not on the backing, so I will polish the back as well, just so it looks better when it gets set. Hi everybody, welcome in. I put a $2 goal on today, and I don't know how to do it after it's been met. But I appreciate you all being in here. And to me, you got a beautiful day out there today. Almost should have taken this outside. Maybe that's what we'll do one day. We'll do a session outside, one on the saw, but I'll take the machine out there too. Alright, so same thing, just going to round it out. Hi everybody. Yeah, this is my 50th live too. So there may be a small reward link to this live. And it may have to do with subscribe. Put a quick comment in the chat. And also hit that thumbs up. And then when I go to reload this and replay it, we will find a piece to give away. Yeah, I can't believe I've been on live. So what have I done? I've done probably 50 lives. They all average out probably. Do you, Doc Nuss? I'll have to take a peek at that. Yes, thank you on the trophies. I've been saying that, so if I've done 50 lives, they average over 2 hours each. So I've done at least live over 100 hours. And I really get paid back by just having you guys here. Hanging out, lurking, trolling, watching, putting stuff in the chat. Thank you, Tanya, and for the super chat today. Very kind. So it has a little natural bug in it, and that's okay. Color's gorgeous. A fire opal. So somebody was asking earlier that they had an orange stone that seemed to glow in natural light. So I figured it was probably maybe a fire opal, and not a fire agate, but a fire opal. I do have some fire agate. Alright, let's take a look. A little bit of a dome, a little bit higher. You can actually see my levels going in, so I still need to bring this to a point a little bit. Let's see if I can do that here. I think probably, normally I come on live on Sundays and Thursdays. Sometimes I'll pop up during the week or on a late night. And I think we may do a late nighter at some point. I have quite a few that I want to finish up. But we've only got to this stage of the third wheel. There we go, that's looking better. Really nice shape. Still a little bit flat, but it'll come out on the next 3 wheels. So. Uh-oh. There you go. So what does a drop of ichor do, though? I don't know what that does. What powers does it have? Yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's take a quick look at what we've done so far. Okay. So let's wet this one just to see. Bye. Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it. I don't want green screen. Don't know why I went to green screen. Sorry about that. Alright. Let's do... Let's do this one. Let's do this one. A little bit of crazy. Really dark crazy though. So I'm going to be a little bit noisier. Put some water on it. Get my mask back on. Alright, mask back on. Let's just I'm going to take off the live edge. Pressing really hard. Very noisy. Sorry about that. Well, it's not my fault. And then I'm gonna have to round that off to get rid of that sharp edge right there. Yeah, thank you all for being here. you hit that thumbs up, it really helps push out the channel, especially on the live. Still got more of that to go up in the end here. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I don't know if that includes the gems. But anything I make off of YouTube will be going to funding what I'm doing here, whether it's purchasing material or maybe a new machine at some point down the road, a long way down the road. But starting to get A-shape. Most of that live is gone up there. You can kind of see where I drew in there originally. Thank you for the thumbs up, I appreciate that. I know, Tanya came in. If you don't know Tanya, she's my jewelry addiction. Her channel, great channel. A little bit of everything. Jewelry reselling, some silversmithing, going out to the antique shows and events. I think she's out in Fresno, California. Soften that up a little bit. There you go. I'm not even sure what that is. I think it's monetary. I don't know what it is. All right. Thank you for the gems. Oof. Hard to decide on this one. I actually like this side better. Let me see which way I got my angle going. I got my angle going that way. That's okay. So, gonna take off this cup edge. Went a little low. I don't even want to look at how low I just went. I have to do some fixing. So my next goal is, well, really it's 1360. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate you coming in. Really appreciate you popping in and participating. It all really, really helps. So I hope you enjoy your dinner or your lunch. Yeah, come back anytime. We are live. Excuse me. We are live on Thursdays and Sundays. And I may go live here and there and just do a quick pop-up. But if you want notifications for that, you do have to subscribe and you do have to click on that notification bell. So got that angle going. This is the hardest point for me to do, is that the smallest point is usually the hardest part for me to do. But it looks pretty good. A little thinner on this side. And I'm going to put up a little quick short of the estate sale I went to yesterday. Just to show their backyard or their back garden that looks over this gorgeous lake. So usually when I go to estate sales, I take along a fishing rod. I usually have one in my car all the time anyway. But yeah. So usually I take a fishing rod, and then if there's a lake or a pond or they're on the river or something like that, then I ask permission from the people giving the sale if I can do fishing or not. Yesterday, it was a little different. Who I had to ask. I asked the lady who ran the estate sale, and she's like, "Well, you can, but they're closing on the house tomorrow, and the person who bought the house is right behind you." And they're closing on it Monday, I think they're closing on the house. So I was like, and she's like, and the person happens to be a state representative as well. And I was like, you mean in the Senate? And she's like, yeah, state Senate. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, most people may have left it right there. And I was like, well, I'll go ask them then. Yeah, I went talked to the state senator and asked them if I could fish off the back into the lake, and they were kind enough to say yes. If you don't ask, you'll never know. But they're really nice. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to vote for them. But it certainly helps when they'll talk to just anybody who happens to come up to them. Alright, so I'm just putting a little bit of an extra edge on there, come around the top. And you can kind of see where my flatness is. I've still got all that to go. See if this will work. I don't know if we're already too wet. I'm going to dry this off a little bit. And doing this through the phone, so if I don't normally do this, so this would be a good practice. You can kind of see where it's flat, and I haven't touched yet. I don't know if this is going to be a mistake or not. I don't think so. It should be okay. So that's what's flat stuff. And we're going to go around it. Oh, maybe it's the lid. Let me just let that dry for a second. And then you'll be able to see, hopefully we'll be able to see as I come to the middle of the face. But yeah, thanks for all being here. I really appreciate it. Live on Thursdays and Sundays. I'm going to go live some evening this week. I do have a little piece. I've got to finish it up for North Star. I want to dedicate enough time to the piece that she sent me that I get it right and I do a really good job. So, all right, that should be good. Could be good. Let's give this a try. I see 67 and you guys in here, so welcome. And let's see what we're going to do. First I'm going to go around the girdle again. Just to smooth that out, I like to go just below the middle with the face up. That way, because of the curvature of the wheel, it takes a little bit more off of the top than it is off the bottom, and so it gives it a natural angle. Okay, let's give it a try. And now I'm going to go around and slowly bring this in, hopefully. Where I take off the sharpie off the top as we head towards the middle of the face. Doing the wiggle waggle. See how we're doing. That gives you some idea of how I'm slowly taking it to the middle. Hi everybody, welcome in. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Oh, you are talking to one of the puzzle queens. Her and my father-in-law. I think I can say it. The Freckle Cat for a lot of years took care of a friend's autistic son. Probably from when he was like 6 until he's now 21 or 22. And one of the things that this autistic young man is really good at, like, it's hard to explain, but he can do a 1,000-piece puzzle, at least in a day. If you left him for the day, from morning till night, he'd finish a 1,000-piece puzzle, really quick. So yeah, she's always doing some puzzles with my father-in-law, and they get to spend some really quality time together. And then sometimes the kids will come over and help as well. That's good quality time, Stephen. Have another quick look, see how we're doing. I just come in and pretend I'm helping and get like 2 pieces, and then I feel like I've participated. Alright, so this idea of putting Sharpie on here was a pretty good idea. Not my idea, I just never do it. And it's actually helping me. So, let's keep going. Oh. Wiggle that in some more. So now, as I get towards the middle, I still have to take more off on the edges outside of those black area. Thank you all for being here, really appreciate it. I will be out here doing this anyway. Beautiful day out here, but I like to come in here and cut some stones, chat a little bit with you guys, maybe learn some things from you guys, and good for my mental health. Before I go back into work tomorrow, I think I'm going to work tomorrow, yeah. Back into work tomorrow. And then I do it again when I finish work for the week on Thursday. And I'm back in here cutting away and seeing what we can discover in all this different type of material that we got here. Yeah, it's working really well, Steven. I mean, I've seen people do it, but I'm always free-forming my stuff and doing it by eye, which is great to a certain degree, but this is actually, let's have another quick look. Oh, yeah, they're looking good. Man, that looks good. We're almost into the middle, and it's giving me a pretty even dome. Alright. Looks like I might have to do that again in the future. A little bit left in the middle. Doing the wiggle waggle back and forth, but I think it just that's it. That is not bad. That's a little spot to go. I've got, what, 3 gifts for the day. That's fantastic. Thank you. I get to give those away to other people now. There we go. Alright, let's move on to the next wheel. So this is the Nova wheel. I just got to get this bottom edge a little bit. A few little tiny chips on it. Just roll it around the wheel. And that'll stop it from chipping out. That's a little sharp right there. That's a lot brighter than I thought. I thought this piece was much, much darker than that. Maybe it got dark from sitting in a bucket somewhere. It's much, much cleaner than I thought. Yeah, no pressure. Hi, everybody. Okay, Stephen, if I can walk up to the state senator like I did yesterday, just to ask him if I could fish in his house in the lake in the back that they haven't even closed on yet, I'm all right. I'm glad everybody's here. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I'll either answer them now, or maybe somebody else who's in the chat can have an opinion on it. This piece is coming out wonderfully. Just going to polish up the back a little bit. I'm wondering, do we go ahead and sharpie it again? Okay. Good. So this is a 280 grit soft Nova wheel from Diamond Pacific. Let's do it again. I don't know if you meant to double sharpie, but I'm going to double sharpie it. So let me just dry it off a little bit. Alright, I say I dry it on my pants or my shirt, but there's not much dry over here. I know. So we're going to sharpie this one up again. Come on back a little. I'm just going to go over the face. That monotonous knocking in the back there, that's to hypnotize you all. Alright, thank you for the hand. Let that dry a little. Back's looking pretty good. That should do it. Bring it back in. A little bit of light. Alright, welcome in everybody. So I just re-sharpied this, going on to the 280. I don't usually sharpie the stones, so just doing this as a practice. That's what the back looks like. That's some crazy lace. Gonna go around like I normally would. And this will help me show me that I've hit every spot on the surface with a new grit. Welcome in everybody. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm sorry it's going to end. It's not quite ended. We've still got, I've got a good 12, 14 hours to go. came up really quick, so. Gonna go along each edge, go from the middle of the face, and pull it towards the outside. Hi, Herminia. Welcome in. Glad you could make it. I've been putting off cutting this stone because it looks so dark, and now I'm wondering if it was just sitting in the bottom of the bucket and had taken on some sort of tannin on the outside where it made it look really dark. I almost thought it was like wood light because it was so dark. So I can't show you the difference right now, but when I reload this in the week, I'll probably do a short on it. We'll do the before and after on it so you can see what a difference in the colors happened just from polishing it off these 3 wheels. If you are new to the channel, I do all types of rocks, but I mostly do sort of opal, turquoise, agates, petrified woods, some jaspers, some block material, so a little bit of everything. We don't always know how it's going to come out, and always glad to have you all along for the ride here. But I think, so normally it's Thursdays and Sundays, but I got some catch up to do. I've probably got 10 stones or so that I have to take through the next 3 wheels. And the reason for that is we've been having fun revealing stuff, but I haven't been finishing them all off. So I think maybe one night this week I'll come back here after work and we'll finish a good, hopefully 8 to 10 of them off. The sharpie is so that you can see that you have touched every area of the face or the back or whatever it happens to be. It's just to show that the wheel has hit every area, and that means once you've gone through and you've taken all that sharpie off, hopefully you've hit every spot on this wheel, and you can almost go on to the next wheel. Let me skip the back. We could try and find an opal. Let's see if we can find one. Alright, very happy with that. Get a quick picture of that. That's a really pretty piece. Very fancy. Alright, I think we are going to find a piece of opal. This is one of these. Andamuka. Hey, Husky. Welcome in. Glad you could make it. Put that one in there. What else have we got here? One, two, three, four. Is that all we've done? I thought we did 5, but well, that's the piece that is all 4 of these need to be done and finished off. So we're going to finish these off during the week. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Green screen. Done. Let's see if we can find a piece of opal in there. Back it up just a little bit. There's some really nice little pieces of boulder. Pretty little boulder pieces. A little bit of color in that one, but not a whole lot. Pretty all the same. But we're going to look for a little piece of Australian Subcribers probably. Maybe in here. Let's see what we can find. Hey Andrea, welcome back. So, I don't know what this is doing in there. That, I believe, is a piece of dinobone. Made its way into a bag. We can do something with that little one. And no. Take a peek, take a quick peek in that one too. The one thing I forgot to bring out my magnifying helmet, jeweler's glasses, but we'll try this anyway. Alright, what do we got? 2 tiny little pieces of opal. I don't know if that's got anything under that. That's a piece of shell. And there's a little sparkle in that one. Let's see what comes up. Let's go with this little one first. Pretty thin. Let's get that sand off. Yeah. Why? Because it's very hard to find big opals. I wish they were bigger, but they're not. Oh, and that one just disappeared. So. No good on that one. It got even smaller. Let's see. You can get bigger opal. Very expensive. Hey, Ada. Hey, to Suey. Welcome in. Glad you said hi. It is tiny. I don't really see anything in this one. Nope. try this one. I don't know if this one is crazed or not. We'll see. I am not sure if it's lagging on my end or lagging on your end. Could be a bit of both. I think I just got a little flash. Turn that around. A little flash on this end. So let's take this off and see if there's anything underneath. It's going to get pretty thin. So the gentleman I bought this machine off of, what is it, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? He specialized in opal. And he would take the shell opal, so it would be concave like that, and he would fill that back in with boulder opal epoxy. So he would take boulder opal that didn't, or ironstone that didn't have too much color in it, and then mix it in with epoxy, and then fill in the back. So it's almost like a doublet, but it made it look a little bit more natural. I'm hoping to see a little color on this. Really thin down this end. Let's go on to the next wheel on this one. Alright, let's have a look, see if there's anything there. It's there. Very light thin fire, mostly up this end. Taking off a little bit more. I think I need 4 more roses or hearts or something like that. Little crystals to go to get to the 5 gift goal. And those ones I can then give out to other people across the YouTube channel or YouTube platform. Let me see if this is going to come out down here as well. Looks like it might. There's sort of a white pot going across there. Go back one. Let's push this a little further, so need to come off this end a little. It's going to be very thin. So yeah, if you go ahead, subscribe, comment, and hit the thumbs up today. After I do the upload of the replay, I will be giving something away for this being the 50th live video that I've done. It'll be nice. So yeah, trying and then it's disappearing. So it's really just up here. Not much. Alright. Let's try one more. Let's do something we haven't seen before. Here we go. Let's have a look. This is just a tiny little key knobby. A lot of sand. Don't know if we'll get anything out of it. So I'm going to try and take some of the sand out first. Right there. Very misshapen pea knobby too. This blue is really nice. And the black is mixed in at all different types of angles. I think we're on about 5 or 6. I'm getting that sand out. It's getting really thin over there though. So now do we try the other side too? Why not? Darker. Unfortunately, that sand goes all the way through. Sand goes all the way through here, all the way down, and then through this side here. Oh, where'd she go? I know I saved it. Lost it. Okay, there it is. So how do we tackle that? I'm not sure. Hey John, how you doing today? Thanks for coming in. Just tackling this tiny little opal, which doesn't look like it's gonna come clean. Well, it's not gonna come clean, but I'm gonna get something small out of it, maybe a half carat. I'm gonna leave this one for right now, but got potential. I think that black's gonna end up coming out, and there's no way to attack it from this other side. That sand goes, well, let's get that little bit off. Yeah, that sand goes in deep. Goes in deep there, joins there, and then comes out the other side. So that's that whole area right there. And as I push through this black right here, it's going to end up meeting that sand. So we can readdress that another time. Let's try one more of those. Let's try this one. Maybe a little bit cleaner. Flatten her out. See where that black is. Okay, so you see the black right there? Really dark, it's really nice. I've also got it there. Get rid of that sand. Come on. Come on. Sand keeps going deeper. Come on out. Color on that. Come on, there you go. A little sand up there, a little sand up there, but look at the color on that. I gotta get this out. I don't know how deep that goes. Come on. Let's get that out. I've gone a little quiet. Yeah, I'm concentrating. This one, although the smallest, is probably the best spoon of the night. Let me get a shape. I just gotta get rid of that and that. Hopefully. I don't have to get everything out of the back, but wow. Come on. People, wow, wow, wow. Look at that. Got that little tiny bit to go. Ah. Look at that. It's a little cloudy there. I got that and that to come out. But it'll come out. Look at that. That one's almost done. Tiny little speck right there. I think. Almost roll it out. Almost. It is gone. That's just that little speckly right there. Let's check something. I have to be careful. Doing really well. I don't want to screw it up. think I gotta stop there. But this is gonna come out fantastic. Hey, Abrima. Welcome in. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And you can see it's going to come out. It's surrounded by color. And the same with that little spot there. Even the back looks nice. Let's move over a little bit. Wow. Okay. Tiny little pea knobby we had. Just going to go around the back a little bit. I'm actually going to leave the back a little rounded, because I want to keep the little gray black area that is there. That's the back. Even the back's nice. Wow. Look at that deep, bluey. Look at that. Which side do you go? Eh. Wow. I don't know which side to do now. Maybe one of the nicer opals I've ever done. They're almost flat on the back. Got a tiny little bit of sand right there. Gone. Got a little tiny spot. Wowie. Look at that. Wow. That is gorgeous. Hey, Ginger. Welcome in. The machine is a Diamond Pacific Genie. So I need to get this on a dot stick. It's got one tiny little spot right there, but I'm going to round off this end. And this could almost be set double setting. I'm very excited. Like, really very excited. Look at that. I know we see them all the time, you know, when we're watching videos, but that's the best one I've cut in a long, long, long time. And let's go ahead, show everything we got here. I think we did one more. There we go. One more. So that's 6. What else have we got? Oh, we did a couple of others somewhere else. Let's back that up. We hit 50 likes. Let me turn that off for a second. Back this up. That opal is going to come out stunning. And it's a perfect little ring size. So a lot of Australia here today, actually. Oh, we don't want green screen. Done. So this one. So this one was the Andamuka. Yeah, the woodpecker behind me. This one is some crazy lace that came out wonderfully. Went a little bit further with the eggshell, and this needs to go to the next wheels. A lot of work to be done on this one. Beautiful Australian turquoise. And this one I believe is California. Beautiful moss. So, yeah, I think we ended up with like 3 things from Australia. Maybe we need to take a trip. This one's fabulous. Look at that. That's a gem right there. And even though it's all blues and blacks, it's fabulous. Put that baby in the middle. Take one last pick. So I want to thank you all for coming in today. I'll go again live between now and Thursday, I think. I want to get these finished off on the next 3 wheels, which is always the fun part, because then we get to the final polish. And then I'll come back on Thursday again, and we'll do some live cuts Thursday. I have some more of this material. So this is very, very encouraging. The 2 pieces we did today were the smallest pieces, and probably the most unlikely to produce something. So that's going to be fantastic. So yeah, we will finish these off sometime between now and Thursday. I have a couple of commissions I have to work on also. Hey, thank you, Abrina. Really appreciate it. And thank you for the trophy. And thank you, Tanya, for my $2 super chat. Very kind of you. And thank you all for the little gems up in the corner there. I don't know if you guys get to see those or not. But we'll get this polished up between now and Thursday. And that is going to be a beautiful ringstone. Let's see how heavy it is. Do I have my... Let's have a look. Might as well take a peek. Let's go over here. Do a quick scale. I'm gonna guess it's 1.5 carats. Let's turn it on. I'm gonna say it's 1.5 carats. So if I end up with a full carat stone at the end with that color and that brightness, I'll be very happy. It is, wow, okay. It's right now, it is showing over 3 carats. So if I can end up with a 2 carat stone like that, that's gorgeous. Very happy with that. All right, thank you all so much. You're so kind to be here in the first place. And come join me in another live another time. I'll be putting some shorts up during the week. Lives are Thursdays and Sundays, 5:30 Thursdays, 1:30 on Sundays. Maybe we're moving to 2 o'clock Sundays. But I really appreciate you all being here and spending some of your time with me. It's very, very kind. And I had a really good time today. So thank you. See you in the next one. In the meantime, take care of each other. And most of all, take care of yourself. Cheers now. Bye, John. Thank you. That Opal guy. Yeah, look at that. Got a couple more of these to do. It's going to be sand free. Bye, Paigey. Welcome in, Pat. I didn't know you popped in. I hope you feel better. I know the weather's awful over there right now. I just spoke to my mom this morning, and She said it was like raining, drizzly, sleety, nastiness. So yeah, get comfy in the living room and stay safe and healthy. All right, everybody. Love you all, guys. Thank you. Cheers now.